Hello again. As before, this is Adam Hancock with Gnome Made Games. Today, I wanted to show you something new with an elf and an orc had a little baby. Last time I showed you how to use the birth parents options that accompany each parentage in this supplement. But today I wanted to show you the a la carte version, sort of the default, that allows you to customize your characters in more interesting or more complex ways. So let's dive right in. I am going to fill out a character sheet as I go, like before. And hopefully you'll see a new way of using this supplement to create your characters. So I just came up with a generic fantasy name, Allaine, I don't know. Um, and I'm going to do something a little bit different. You may have noticed that it says in the supplement that you can choose two or more, well, actually one or more parentages. Um, so I'm gonna try three this time. So a little bit more complicated than two, but we can still do it. So I'm gonna choose elf, gnome, and halfling. In my mind, this character has a gnomish birth parent and then a birth parent that is mixed elf and halfling. Um, and I'm going to make this character a rogue with the intention of later on becoming an arcane trickster if I were to play this character. And I will get to all of this. I'm Adam, so I'll put that there. All right. So the first thing I need to do is get to the page of my first parentage, which is elf. I don't want to go too heavy on elf because they aren't like because I guess I don't want to get into blood quantums, but I'm not going to get too heavy in elf on this one. So dark vision is what I'm going to choose. And if you'll see right here, dark vision, like I'm not using the birth parents, which would be sort of a collection of traits. I'm choosing individual traits. So dark vision, 4 points, and I can get up to 16. So I'm going to make sure that I keep track of my points. I'll just be recording them verbally so you can hear what I'm doing instead of writing them down anywhere. So dark vision, you can see in dim light within 60 feet of you as if it were bright light and in darkness as if it were dim light. Okay, so that's 4 points, and I'm also going to pick up keen senses, and if you see that down here, it just adds, it's 2 points, so that'll be a total of 6 now, and it just gives me proficiency in my perception skill. So instead of writing anything over here, I'm just going to click this little box or little circle. Okay, and that is all I want to do for the elf. I'll go to, whoops, I meant to go to the gnomes, scroll back a little bit. Okay, there they are. So the gnomes, or the gnomish traits. Again, instead of picking one of these boxes here, these birth parents that are just examples, I'm going to go and pick individual ones. So I'm going to choose Improved Gnome Cunning. You have advantage on all wisdom saving throws against magic. I'll put that here. You probably noticed that we divided Gnome Cunning into two different traits. You've got Gnome Cunning, Intelligence and Charisma saving throws, and then Improved Gnome Cunning. Apparently, Wisdom saving throws are much more common in D&D than Intelligence or Charisma. So And I'm also going to pick restless, which is another 3 points. So I'm up to a 14-point total, getting really close to the end. That is when taking a long rest, you need only 2 hours of sleep and can spend the other 6 hours forming light activity. Because people have asked, that does not mean I can get into a fight during those 6 hours. It means like I can tend the fire, I can be a lookout while my comrades in arms sleep, something like that. And this just, I really like this because I have ADHD and this sort of like speaks to me. All right, and finally, I also have some halflings. So hopefully this is the right page number. It is. And I chose what could be more halfling than to have a little bit of luck. So I'm going to add lucky. You roll a 1, and a d20, an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. In other words, a d20 test is what they're calling it now. You can re-roll the die and must use the new roll. Okay. You might think, uh-oh, you've gotten yourself into a little bit of trouble, Adam, because now you're at an 18-point total, which is over our 16 points, but there's this little attribute, this trait. So my base speed reduces to 25 feet, and my size is small, and that reduces my total by 2. Speed of 25 feet. That brings me back down to 16 points total, which is exactly what I was trying to go for, and I am done. You can see that there is a good mix of halfling, gnomish, and elven traits in this mixed race character. I'm not done yet. I still have to do an upbringing and then fill out with my background and class and pick my equipment and such as normal. So I'm going to I'm going to select the mage upbringing, and that is on page 97. Nope. Yes, there it is. Uh, Your dexterity score increases by 2 and your intelligence score increases by 1. If you can see that, I was raised by someone who knew some magic. And just by being around them, being raised by them, I was able to glean a few things. So I'm just going to put those here to remind myself that when I choose my ability scores, I want to increase those to dexterity and intelligence. And then I have a cantrip. I already decided that I want my character, Allaine, to know the minor illusion cantrip. So I'll put that there. I don't want to make a separate spell sheet, not until I get to 3rd level for an arcane trickster. And finally, I get one standard language and one other language of my choice. You can refer to this table on page 91 to see standard and rare. I decided common would be the standard one. That's always helpful. Nice lingua franca. And then draconic, because maybe I learned it. Draconic is a very, mage. Um, it kind of reminds me of it's like a wizarding language. So maybe I learned that from whatever mentor or possibly even a birth parent or guardian who taught me my minor illusion cantrip. Maybe they also taught me how to speak Draconic. And then I would go on, and I'm going to choose the criminal background, much to the disappointment of my mentor. Maybe neutral alignment, and I'm just gonna keep on filling this out with for my background and my class. And when I'm all done, it should look like this. So Allaine is a complete character with elven, gnomish, and halfling traits. I think they still seem pretty balanced, even though I've selected a few from 3 different parentages. As long as I keep at 16 or fewer points in this system, and an elfin or an orc had a little baby, I think I'm fine. An Elfin and Orc Had a Little Baby is a collaboration between me and VJ Harris. Ashton Duncan was our editor. Legal Kimchi did our sensitivity reading. Anna Gregerson did our layout. And we have a bunch of artists whose work features in this book as well. If you're interested, it's on the Dungeon Masters Guild. Just type in an Elfin and Orc, and that should be enough to pull it up. Again, I'm Adam Hancock. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to keep making these videos until somebody tells me not to, and then probably still make them anyway. And that is it.